Welcome back to the Eric Tech Stuff channel. If you just stumbled across this video, well, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell, and you'll get some notifications when I release a video. I used to do it way back in the day, consecutive on a Sunday release. But yeah, sometimes you got projects that overlap and you can't get to them, or things get in the way. So yeah, I do apologize for all my subscribers that have subbed up to me, which I looked at. It's 687 of y'all. I can't believe it. This channel is just basically for me to go through some old radio equipment for my father, and I was just sending them out to him, and then people started subscribing up, so that's pretty cool. 687 of y'all. So I do want to thank each and every one of you that's gave me thumbs up, comments, and subscribed. And I'll try to get some videos out, maybe not on Sundays, but as soon as I get done with them. Definitely helps when you subscribe and hit that bell. It lets it happen a lot quicker. Something's been released, but yeah, I used to be on a schedule, but in any regard, yeah, some projects overlap any video to be released. So I wanted to go back through my storage unit that I went through my storage unit before. This is kind of how this channel started. Like I said, way back in the day when I had one subscriber, which was my father. This was the stuff I used to go through my storage unit and be like, hey, I have this, I have that, and everything like that. And so I wanted to go over one that I kind of just browsed through, and I got a couple of them on the channel I need to get, like Cobra 148B. But this one here is the RCI-2970. Doesn't have the battery in it. I believe that's the second gen. But yeah, that's that big old amp on it here, and I had a switch in the back that I kind of retrofitted in. And yeah, this was a bastardized unit. Kind of ton of radios put this radio back together again, but it has a DX display green. It doesn't have just the lights on the side on both of them that you can change out. It actually has LED feed throughout, but that is green, and I think that this is still the original orange. But yeah, that switch in the back is to turn the power amp on and off in the back here. But yeah, really, other than that, no real difference with that RCI 2950. This one just has this big old monster on the back side of it here. So, and of course it changes the cord on it too. So what I did originally is I had that power switch in the back, but what I'm going to do is mount it in the front here, and I had a red LED, so as soon as that amp was on, it would kind of bleed through the clear speaker in the back. As you can tell, that speaker is tiny, and half of it is still covered. They've thankfully fixed that in later designs. But this one here is the old school classic here, man. You had the quarter dime versus the 2950. Everyone was either a Udin or a RCI guy. Back in the mid-90s, you either had one or the other, and you got one of these. You're a big boss here. But what we want to do is change this display to green, put the toggle switch in the front here to turn on and off the power. Easier to get at than running all the way to the back here, especially if it's mounted in a truck somewhere. And we'll also change that red one out for a green, so everything will be just green. So when that switch is on, when the amp is on, it'll just glow green, let you know, and then switch off. So want to be able to put it up a little closer here, because I want to make sure that, if this is put in a cabinet, which is actually really good when they get mobile and get into center console custom cabinets and stuff, that breezeway a lot of times is blocked off, so that way they can do airflow problem, that you can still access the switch. So this is cool. So we're going to revisit this. Let me just power it up real quick, just make sure I'm saying what I think is how we left it last time. Of course, it's been maybe last year. I'm not sure exactly the last time I had this on the channel. But let's see here. Yeah, so we have green, DX display and board, orange underneath here, and then yeah, so we're going to change out the LEDs here. I'm going to check out if I need to actually change out the keypad. I think I even have that. Oh. See all kind of parts. The old display I think is right there. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. We may not need to do an upgrade of the keypad. Color is not terrible, but yeah, nicotine kills these buttons. And yeah, I don't know. They seem kind of white, just the same, but stuff I find in the unit after I've gone through the unit, it's crazy. So yeah, we're going to go through a couple of these, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this, bring it back, and we'll talk. Now, I just looking back on the old video here, and that display was all corrupted when I first powered up. Sometimes it happens with these radios, but now it's fine. But yeah, sometimes these radios don't come perfect when you power up the first couple times. All I had to do was just let it sit for a second when I looked at the video, and then I came back and this was back to normal. So it was all screwed up. When we hit the manual, of course, we get our channels and everything. But yeah, we have to update the orange display on this. So let's go ahead and do that and get that switch installed. These have to be run with external speakers. This was terrible design. Of course, the amp on the bottom side with the heat going up too is a terrible design with no fans. But in any regard, yeah, that's cool. And yeah, sometimes these things are just corrupted sometimes out of the box. I mean, that's kind of the nature of the RCI series. They get corrupted pretty easy on the memory here, especially the filtering on the up-down buttons actually go directly to the CPU. So make sure you don't scuff a carpet and hit the button. You'll actually destroy that CPU. It is insane they didn't have any filtering on that. So I had a lot of guys say that they've either did that or wired up a mic while the jack was still plugged into the radio. Power was still going into the radio, and they didn't have a good AC connection on their soldering gun and grounding, and actually introduced voltage that shorted directly to the CPU. So after they got done, their mic wired up properly because they were using that as a holder. Please don't do that. But they ended up blowing the CPU on these. So yeah, these are starting to get completely rare. Like the first gen RCI-2970, you can't even get that CPU chip. And they want, as much as the radio is new back in the day, like $220 some just for the CPU chip. Because yeah, they don't make them anymore. Amazing there is not an aftermarket. Many of these radios that have gone to the wayside because that CPU got shorted, or someone messed around with the mic clips, or the mic jack plugs while they were soldering or just touching stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to even test that theory of scraping my feet on carpet and touching this to shock it out. Sounds awful. Anyway, we'll get to it, and we'll be back after I change out these orange ones here. See that dim? If we turn off the light here, you can see it looks nicotine based because it's like that. I may put white, I don't know, we'll look at that, but we'll be back.